Not New York legend, not street ball legend. I am the international legend, James Fly Williams.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Kevin McGill, and I am sitting with the legendary James Fly Williams. Let me give you a little background information. He was born February 18, 1953. He's an American former professional basketball player. Played in the American Basketball Association, known as the ABA, for the Spirits of St. Louis, and with multiple teams in the Continental Basketball Association, known as the CBA. A street basketball player from New York, Brownsville, which he's going to let us know about in a minute. He once scored 100 points in an IS-8 league game in 1978. Welcome, Fly, and thanks for joining us. And so, let me ask you a few questions. Where'd you grow up? Even though I told him Brownsville.
Brownsville.
In the projects?
In the PJs.
And tell me a little bit what it was like in the projects.
Well, back then it was kind of like, kid growing up there doing kid things.
Okay.
You know, Johnny on the pony, stickball, grab the can. You know, we shot marbles in the street. We had tops, we cracked tops, play skelly, ringing Libio, just little things. Game called a monster, it was just a game time. We were young kids and we just played games all day. We would just come outside. We start off with a stickball game first, and we just, every day we just pick what we're going to do tomorrow. We just a bunch of kids, like the Little Rascals, you could say.
Yeah.
We just a bunch of kids.
Sound like my childhood, because children today, they don't appreciate the games that we grew up on. Do you have any siblings? Do you have any?
Me have any kids?
Yeah, no, siblings, brothers, sisters.
Oh, yeah, it's 8 of us.
Okay, all still alive?
No, my older sister passed away a while ago. My 2 brothers went back down south. I got 2 sisters here and me, myself. They living pretty well right now.
Y'all keep in contact?
Yeah, every day.
Good. All right, that's good. It's always good to have a relationship.
Yeah.
So how was your relationship with your mother and father growing up?
Well, my father, he was a abuser. He used to drink a lot. I used to go with him on a tractor trailer, He used to take produce here down south, back up to New York, He used to abuse my mother. My mother finally got fed up with him, and he was out of my life at a young age. He was gone, I was the baby, spoiled rotten. My sisters took care of me. My mom, we were very poor. We had nothing. My mother worked right there on Newport and Watkins Street. She used to do record albums right there down the street in Brownsville. She made my clothes. She made the food. She grew some of the food downstairs in the projects in the garden. We was just a poor family, trying to make it. I mean, when I used to get a hold of my pants, I wouldn't get a new pair of pants. My mother put a patch on it. I wore these little things called brogans. They was like work boots.
Yeah.
If you ever seen the Little Rascals, they wore them, and that's what I wore at the time of my childhood life.
So where'd you fit in the family? Were you like the middle child, the oldest, the youngest?
I was the baby.
You was the baby?
Yeah, I was a spoiled rat baby.
So you got everything handed down?
Oh yeah, my sister and everybody took care of me, like I said.
Okay. And so, stories tell your mother was a disciplinarian. What was your relationship with your father? Well,
my father, I used to go with him on trips on the tractor trailer, time to time, ride back and forth down south. Sometimes hung out down there, sometimes just came back. That's about it. Wasn't too excited in my child life, wasn't too excited at that age.
Okay.
And just regular kid.
So was he in your life a lot? Your dad?
No, my mother was my life. My dad just, like I tell you, my dad just hang out in the streets and, much as I know about him, he used to hang out in the street and drink. Came from the war. He did his time in the war.
Okay.
And when my mother got married, I never get the picture of him in his uniform and my mother sitting on the living room table.
Did that have an effect on you, like your father being not as present in your life?
Of course, because you know what they say about giving advice and not taking advice that you giving someone else.
Yeah.
So, that's how my dad was.
Wow. As a young man, what did the young James Williams say he wanted to be when he grew up? I mean, you aspired to be what?
Well, I was open-minded as a kid. I played all sports. Never knew that I ever turned out to be what I was on the basketball court. I have to commend Jocko for doing that, a guy that grew up with me.
Right.
I was a baseball player.
Okay.
Played a little football, Chris Gregory and them, but mainly baseball. And the guys started playing basketball. So I started out playing on the garbage can in front of the building. Yeah. I made a full court, run and shoot the ball, and really didn't care about it. Go to the baseball game after that, though. I ain't caring about basketball.
Your relationship with your mom, your mother, Miss Williams?
Oh, my mom was a joint, man. She knew all the kids. She did a lot of volunteer work in Brownsville at Center Court 320. I was raised down there. My mother's a God-fearing person. She'd take me to church almost every day. The swimming pool where they baptized people, the baptism pool, that was my swimming pool when I was a kid. On Saturday, she just sell dinners, sold down there. She was in the Florida Club. I stayed in church all day. Only day I had off was Monday. From Tuesday to Sunday, I was in church down the block. She was real religious. She loved all of us. She tried to do the best that she can for all of us.
Okay.
Like I said, we were very poor.
What church you go to?
Pilgrim Baptist Church.
Okay.
Reverend Brown, the Reverend named Reverend Brown. He used to come to my house for dinner after church on Sunday, man. Him, the organist, everybody come to my mother's house. She used to do everything, cook for the church, cook for dinners after the service. We knew we were getting some good food that day because, some days, the food was just regular because we really had no money. But she made our way pretty good, my mom, man. God bless her. She passed away in 2007. She was 91.
Yeah, wow. That's a long life.
Yeah, so I know I'll be around a little more longer.
Yeah.
But I had three parents, beat me. Then Miss Ellaby used to preach the daylights out of me. I go out the next day, do the same thing, man. I think that's the part of my dad that wasn't around me because my mother was trying to do her best. But I was a troubled kid, man. I stayed in trouble. My middle name was Trouble. I ran around to all kind of stuff, man. I broke into freight cars and stole all the mopeds. I sold moped for $5. Never get this, I ain't gonna lie to you. I made zip guns out of car antennas for people because I learned down south. One day, man chasing me. I got about 50 antennas in the bag. I'm running out and popped his, So the police came out, and my mother tell them I didn't do it, that's mom. I didn't do it. She goes in the room and she find all the antennas.
What were you taking the antennas for?
Making zip guns.
Making zip guns.
I used to make zip guns for people.
So that kind of segues into my next question. When your mom passed, what effect did that have on you?
Oh, man, it destroyed me. I worked for the park department, and we used to take turns. She was in Brookdale. My niece go in the morning. I go in the afternoon with my older sister, and my other niece at night. We used to go every day. She was like 91 then.
How old were you?
I was in my 30s then.
In your 30s?
Yeah, I was in my 30s then. It really destroyed me. But I didn't show it. I was a tough guy, you know. But it really hurt me at night.
Did that alter your lifestyle as far as, gravitating towards maybe different types of behaviors?
Nah, man. It didn't do anything.
You said you didn't drink, so
I was just the worst.
Yeah.
At night I was a little punk though when I got by myself, thinking about my mother. But the next morning I was the same hard guy.
Yeah.
I never get the day she passed. We were feeding her lunch. And we just thought she was playing. She'd say, food nasty, I don't want this, it's nasty. So we got ready to leave and I never get this. She said, go home and clean the house. Told my older sister, ready to take care of Fly. She going home. And we thought she meant she was coming home.
Right.
She died at 2 o'clock that morning.
Wow.
And when I got to the hospital, they had called me and said, if you want to see her before you're going, you got to hurry and get here. He hadn't got up on the floor. I heard my sister, my next older sister, "Mommy, why you leave me like this?"
She was gone.
She was gone. I got there, she's in a body bag. But I buried her, you know. Went picked out the casket, everything.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have no money. She didn't really have no insurance. You know, things I was doing, I was getting money, so I buried her and my older sister. My mama used to always say, "Don't you die on me, because I need you to bury me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say there's no pain greater than mother having to bury their child.
Their child.
You know, how old were you when your dad passed?
Oh, I was young. I don't know exactly how old I was when my father passed, because he was out of my life. My mother might have told us years later that he had passed.
Okay.
You know, was old enough to remember him and ask about him. My mom said, "Oh, he been gone a while."
Yeah.
I never knew how long he been gone.
So the fact that he was absent, what type of effect did that have on you?
Well, my mom was my dad.
Yeah, I mean, back then, you're right.
Back then, my mom was my dad.
Yeah.
And then you had people on the block with my dad. And we had a man across the street, Mr. Vic, guy Harold Hughes, you know. We had some people that, like I tell you, it's a lot different.
So those were your, like, role models then?
No, they weren't a role model.
Or disciplinarians, so to speak.
Yeah, with my ass.
Right.
Said that right. Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah.
You was the baby. Your brothers and sisters never checked
Yeah.
you?
No.
And
So-
did y'all have the same did y'all share the same father?
Yeah, but my brothers that went back down south, they wasn't going to live in New York because people were living on top of us. They come from the south. They used to a house. So they left. Damon and Bo left. You know, they left. They went back down south. Only one stayed here was me and my three sisters.
Okay, so that makes
Yeah, everybody else was back down south. They didn't like New York, you know. I was in Brownsville when the streets was dirt, man.
Wow.
You know, yeah. When the manager come up with I was crazy about horses. And the manager come with the horses with the cart, selling tomatoes or watermelon.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was planning on stealing a horse one day. Yeah. I was gonna take the horse. My older sister seen me. She said, "Mommy, you gonna take that horse?"
Wow.
Yeah. So they sent me upstairs. So I went to the window, and I'm looking out the window, tried to actually climb out the window. Almost fell out the window, but the pipes that was in the projects next to the window, my foot got caught in it. I was hanging out the window, though. Yeah.
What were you going to do with that horse? Right?
Ride him, man. You know.
ride him down
So,
Yeah, probably.
So let me ask you this question. So, would you say you had a happy childhood? You know, give us a little insight to your childhood.
Oh, yeah, I was a menace. I had a great childhood. You kidding me? You let me tell it. You know, but I was terrible to my mother. You know, I mean, it was the girls that really focused on it because she was girls. You know, I was the only boy left here. And I was a little devilish little baby, a little kid that got spoiled. I mean, I did all right. I did all sorts of stuff. I never get we'd have stray dogs that walked around all the time. And I was that kid to collect all the dogs. Yeah, I had to put them down in the cellar where they get the garbage out of the house, and I had to put them down. I had to break in the cellar with a screwdriver. I had like 20 dogs in there, man. You know, the porter came and get in there. "Where Mr. Williams? Where Miss Williams at? Go get her son. I know he put them down." Yeah, I had dogs used to follow me around. Every time you see me, I had like 10, 15 dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, I was that type of kid, you know. I mean, I was different than a lot of kids coming from down south. They were brought up in the city, you know. I was a lot different. I was a little country boy.
Yeah.
You know, and the dogs were my friends, you know. And one day I'll never get, my mother said, "I'm going to buy you a dog. Stop running around here collecting these dogs, breaking in the cellar." Because they sent me to court one time for breaking in the cellar. Sent me to family court. I had to break in the cellars. So they sent me to family court and everything. And my mother came out. I got rid of the case that they had me in family court. And my mom said, "I'm going to get you a dog." She got me a little black and white dog. Never forget it. Her name was Mimi. Called her Mimi. That was my friend for a while, that dog. And just the guys in the building that lived with me. We stayed in a 3-story building.
Yeah.
Most of the people that lived in the building was close to me. I had a Puerto Rican family downstairs, and Smith stayed on the first floor. We on the second. I had the bell lived on there. I had some friends in the building. And then I started meeting everybody in the building and in the project. I'm by a midwife.
Where?
Down in Durham.
In Durham, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
By a midwife.
And you came to Brownsville how old?
I came to Brownsville. I was like 2, 3 years old. I didn't get a birth certificate until I came to New York from Bethel Hospital. That's
Okay.
Brookdale. Brookdale was named Bethel and stuff. And I got a birth certificate from Bethel. You got to remember, I was born in the early 50s.
Yeah.
If you look at when I was born, you say 50 to 54. Now you're talking about the 40s. You're talking about the 40s now, you know. See, back then, when the years came, you got to go back 3, 4 years, 5 years, because that's how life was. My mother grew everything. My mother made all my clothes. Like in the book, Fly 35, that dungaree suit I got on, standing in the after, my mother made that.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a picture at my house. That's my special picture there.
She sounded like she was a well-rounded woman as far as just the stuff she did for family, stuff she did for community, stuff she did for church.
Well, I got that from her. You know, as my life turned around, you know, I did all that stuff. Same thing my mom did. Jocko did the same thing from his grandmother. We was instilled with that stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
They did. His mother was, everybody loved her.
Yeah. My mother took
She
all
was
the kids.
everybody's mother.
Yeah.
Sound like if people were hungry, come on in and eat.
But that's that's how
Community
that's how the
was,
environment was.
Right.
Back then.
When we was growing up in the 60s and 70s.
I go to anybody's house and eat.
Yeah,
Different
the
time.
doors, you leave the doors
Wide
unlocked.
open.
Like you didn't have all this fighting and all that other mess. If it was
Nah.
fight, it was fist fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we had
And then go play basketball later.
If we had a fight, we was friends. We had a fight at say 8 o'clock the day before. The next morning, we out there playing one another.
There you go. That's
You
my point.
know, you can. Like I tell these kids today, when they do things, they destroy 2 families, and we didn't do that as young men.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what elementary school did you go to when you got
Oh boy, here we go. I went to PS 125, but I got through out of there.
Okay.
I was taking people money for cookies, and we had little on Wednesdays. You know, they had a banker thing where you had to bring your quarter, put in an envelope, sign your name, your address, and they to open accounts for you at the bank up the street. Man, I used to take people money in the bathroom and take their cookie money and all kinds of stuff. So I get caught, and we had a lady named Miss Dix. Never forget her. She's from Livonia Avenue. She had a store, but she also was the custodian. Excuse me. She used to tell me she got a spanking machine downstairs. So everybody, yeah, she got a spanking machine.
Trying to scare you?
Yeah, try to scare me. So one day, just no lie, on the weekend, I break into school. I want to see this spanking machine, man. I break into school. Ain't no spanking machine. I come back, ain't no machine down there, man. How you know? So I didn't know Miss Dick told the principal that somebody broke into school. I said, because I was down there Saturday. Then I got my butt tore up when I got home. I told on myself that I was the one that broke into school. My mother lit me up. God almighty, Lord.
Well, what kind of student were you as a
Terrible.
I mean,
I was terrible. You know.
so what kind of remarks did you get on your report card?
Terrible.
Terrible?
Yeah, terrible. I was just a bad kid. You know, I was a kid that listened to my mother, but did what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So they threw me at a 125 and something at 284. Same guy, same thing, different place. I was the same guy, you know.
Yeah.
I made it through there. Ended up went to all the schools in the neighborhood now. Ended up going to junior high school, 263. Made it to the 7th grade. My sister and I never get it. They were so proud of me. They didn't believe I was going to make it to the 7th grade. They were so proud of me, you know. Boy, he made it. He made it junior high school.
Why were you so rebellious as a kid?
I was going to ask that about
I
it.
think that's when my father come into play, I believe, because I ain't have a dad.
Mm-hmm. So that was that effect that we were asking for
Everybody
earlier.
else did, though, right?
Yeah, you know,
When
and
you-
some
when you don't have your father.
yeah, sometimes I used to be jealous. Somebody had,
Their father and you didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look, so he was a good man. It just
Yeah.
didn't happen.
And then I was the only man in the house.
Mm.
You know, so
That was a lot of pressure on you.
wasn't no pressure. I did what I needed to do.
I had a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, you know, I did what I needed to do. She knows me. I was the worst, right?
Yeah.
I ran around, did all kind of stuff, and recruited people. You know, it wasn't hard. I was fly. They wanted to roll me anyway, so it wasn't hard. Some used to ask, you know, and stuff. I never forget a young lady didn't let me in her house.
Who did that?
Wanted to frisk me, huh? You ain't doing that, you know.
I felt them demons.
She wouldn't let me. This is say, you know what she say right to this day. I don't know what happened to him.
Really?
Yeah, Mama.
Who said that?
It says-
My next older sister. She said, I don't
No,
know.
that's your father.
No, I ain't gonna, no. It wasn't my dad. You know what it was? I was trying to provide for my mom too. You know, I took care of my mom. You know, even when she got old, even the things I done to get money, you know. I remember one day I go to the house, I'll never get it, I give her about 10, 15,000. She looking at me, she ain't say nothing, she just looking at me. I put all the money on the table, me and Country James, and she just looking at me like, and she kept looking at
10,
me.
15,000. Yeah, was this?
Oh, the 80s.
The question where you got the money?
Let me tell you what she said, man. Never forget this, man. She says, really appreciate the money, but I know you ain't got no job. So what she said. She didn't question where it came from.
Right.
Nothing. And when she died, she didn't even spend it. She put a little hole in the back of the mattress, kept stuffing in the mattress, all the money I should give her. My sister said she found about 60, 70,000 in the mattress.
That's old school.
Yeah, she put a little hole in the
grandmother
back
had
of the
money in her
mattress.
mattress.
The head of the bed was stuffed in the mattress. Never spent a dime of the money, man. Still had taped up, still had the rubber bands on the way we had it. Well, we used to go there every Saturday to eat sweet potato pie, homemade ice cream, sweet potato pie. You know, she used to cook all the time. My mother feed the neighborhood, man. My mother was just that kind of lady. You know, Miss Annie, you know, the window. She said, come back 2 hours. Or everybody to come to my mother's house. Everybody. I mean, the whole neighborhood.
She was a God-fearing woman, so there's no way she was going to accept that.
Yeah, she was.
But she wasn't going to tell you, she wasn't going to ride you on what she was doing. Because she probably felt at some point a lot of guilt. Being a single parent.
Never knew that. Never
Yeah,
thought it.
because single parents don't show that. I was a single parent.
I never do that.
But you know, you feel like when the other partner's not there, the father's not there, you know it's taken away from the kids. The kids is suffering in silence. So you try to compensate, and back then it was hard, but it was a lot better, but it was still hard being a single parent.
Yeah.
Poor.
Yeah.
In the projects.
With a large family.
Exactly.
And
so
that's why
she felt a lot of guilt, trust me.
But you know, you said something that's real significant right there. That's why I felt like I had to take care of my family.
My aunt was like that. I had 7 cousins.
When I first signed,
thing.
matter of fact, they still got the house out there. My nephew knew. My oldest sister had got a house. Her husband was a professional wallpaper hanger. So try to get my mother to move out there. So I got you, I'll buy a house. She said, no. I said, we'll go live with Naomi. And she said, no, all my friends here in the projects.
That's how it was, yeah.
So how long had you lived in the project? I mean, had she been there?
Oh, my mother been in the project all her life. My sister still got the apartment to this day.
Wow.
Yeah, I call her the OG of Stone Avenue right now.
So, according to my research in Wikipedia, you went to Madison High School.
Yes.
Where you had aspirations to be a baseball pitcher, but you were too tall to remain competitive in that sport. You said that's untrue. You wanted to be a baseball player and never wanted to play basketball. So tell us a little bit more about Madison.
Okay, I went to Madison. You know, it was like segregation. Then when I first went to Madison, you know, they used to chase me home every day. The Caucasian white people, they didn't want us in the school. I never got to run home every day, man. And I never I told my mother, I'm not going there, Mama. She said, you're going to school. I used to go every day, and I used to get chased every day.
Wow.
Yeah. She just say, where your books? Somewhere down Kings Highway.
You drop them right? So I was ear hustling before we set up. Well, how'd you wind up in the 600 school? Tell me about that experience.
Well, I went to, you know...
And tell the audience what 600 school is.
Oh, that's for bad kids. That's like reform school, man.
Right.
You know, I went to Marcus, and I was in a regular class at first, you know. Then they found out I was a little tyrant in the school. So they had a place called the K class. That's for the bad kids. We never left to transfer the classes. We stayed in there all day. Yeah, all day. You know, teachers came in, the dean came in 24/7, you know. So then one day I just be sliding out the back door, terrorize the rest of the school, slide back in, you know. And one day the dean watched me. He watched me do everything. He wrote down everything I'd done. Go to each bathroom. Give me that money, man. Yeah, I was doing little dumb shit, you know.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you had money to go in the bank on Wednesday. Then you had a recess where you buy cookies and pretzels and all that, you know. So one day I take everybody's money. So this day I treat the class. Now the dean watched me do everything. I'm cheating the class. I'm buying the pretzels and cookies for everybody, the girls. I'm buying the police come in. Yeah. Maybe I go family court again. You know what I'm saying?
How old were you?
Oh, man. 12, 13.
Wow.
Yeah, I was young. I just knew how to make a way, man.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't really afford anything.
Right.
You know, I had a couple pair of pants, couple shirts. Like I said, I didn't have anything, man.
So looking back in retrospect, what do you think triggered that behavior?
Watching my mother struggle.
Okay.
Watching my mom struggle. I gotta help out.
Yeah.
You know, you always say somebody gotta bring some bread to the table. They think about a loaf of bread. I think about money bread.
Yeah.
And it just carried on in my life, in and out of my life. My life ain't no secret. Well, I guess we'll get to that too, though. But that's what happened to me. And some things just don't leave you, man.
Yeah.
I don't care how old you get. Until you get something real detrimental that happens to you. You don't never want to revisit that.
Yeah.
Childhood trauma.
Childhood trauma. Absolutely.
Everybody has it.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting because
a lot of people don't like talking about it, though.
Right.
But that's why you didn't ever get over it.
And
Or never put it in perspective to be able to move forward.
you and I talked about myself going to therapy because of vicarious transformation.
My mother got me somewhere. I went. I went talking to counselors. I went talking to people. She had people come to the house.
Oh, when you were young.
Yeah.
I'm talking about fly as an adult. I had to talk about vicarious transformation, stuff that happened.
No.
That's interesting though.
This made me what I am today. You kidding
Right.
me? I can sit back and reflect on everything. We be here the next year this time. I'm telling you, I was a monster, man.
Wow.
You was that bad?
Yeah, I was bad.
I knew that.
Yeah.
See, I knew
So you ever go to is that in here, like Division for Youth and all that? Is that in here?
No,
Or
never
is
did that. Never
No,
went
wait,
there.
wait, say that
No.
again?
So he just because I was going to ask because of that behavior.
DYU.
Did he go to like
DY.
Divisions for Youth or anything like that?
I know that's not in there.
Okay, good.
I never went
You
there.
never went though, so he answered that.
I never went to that. But
But you was a prime candidate though.
I'm that close. You kidding me? Candidate, I was the president. You kidding me? My mom wouldn't allow it though.
Yeah.
My mother wouldn't allow it. She used to tell me, "Now I know you did this." It got so where she used to protect me,
Yeah.
and then it got so I know you done it. And I said, "Yeah, Mama."
She knew you.
Yeah, Mama.
You're a child.
I used to try to say I didn't do such. You know how kid is. Like, Mama, I ain't do that, man. They get crazy. It must be somebody else. It wasn't me.
Right.
And then my mama started watching me. I had to get things and bring it and hide under the bed. I had to get money and put it fold up in my socks. One day I came in the house, my mother had all the money on the bed. And I'm like, how the hell she find that money, man? I turned the socks inside out with the money in it. She had all the money, but she didn't took all the socks, dude. And she know she ain't buy me all them socks. She said, I know something was going on. I didn't buy you all them socks. You know what I'm saying? My socks have holes in it, my sneakers. Yeah, man. I never get it. I had to put cardboard in some of them sometimes when I was coming up.
Wow.
And I remember the first pair of corn braces I bought for $7.99. Beat the daylights out of me. Where you get these sneakers from? Where you get $7.99?
Chuck Taylor.
She said, where you get these sneakers from? I said, I bought them. Where you get the money from? I was like,
So growing up, I remember back then growing up, if you were part of a large family, most of the large families were poor, like the Legrees.
the
And
aliens.
people, and they used to look down on them.
Yeah. But
They used to look, because they always had like they used to, in the projects, they would break down a wall to get them the extra bedrooms.
them the ones I hung out with, the aliens on my block. They lived in the ENF. I used to go to their house every day. Oh, you and they think house, this and that, But they're my friends. I never turned back, even today. If you're my friend,
You my friend.
you're my friend.
Yeah.
If you're acquaintance, you're acquaintance. If you just dare to get from me, I had a guy like that to grow up with me. You remember Keith? I had a guy like that. And they used to always say he was a leech. I ain't want no leech to me, that's my friend.
Yeah.
But turned out he was, because he went from me to the next person, next person, next person.
So you started your journey playing and dominating street basketball games at the Rucker and the Hole in Brownsville. So explain the importance of the Rucker Park to young men in the communities of the 70s.
Well, the Rucker was the elite. The Rucker was the elite tournament, man. If you had some game you think you can play, you had to play a Rucker, man. talk of the town, you know, the best playing record. Took me a few years to get in record, but they were sorry when I got up in there, though. You know, I met Joe and all them, Joe Hammond. You know, Pee-wee Cookin played before me, you know, Earl Manigault, Harold Funny Kid, Jackie Jackson, Carlton Green, Shake and Bake Streety. I mean, a host of other guys. You know, I mean, the competition was really tough.
So had your reputation preceded you to the Rucker? Had they known about you yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But they heard of me.
They heard of you.
You know, they're up-and-coming guys.
Question,
you know.
and this keeps ringing. Where did the name Fly Williams come from?
The style of play I played, and I was a clean, I just dressed, man. I was something else, man. And the guys on the street gave me that name.
Okay.
You know, in Brownsville. You know, I used to always be, you know, I was always, my name was Junior. It went from Junior to Fly. And they'd say, you ever see Junior Fly? You know, and I had like two names. And people would come, you Junior Fly? Yeah, I'm Fly. You know, I was a kid that liked to dress once we got a little something, because I was poor in my life.
Yeah.
So when I got a chance to put some clothes on, you know, we did back then. We wore the Blythes, the tailor-made plants, you know, the cashmere sweaters, the Bucks, you know, the puppy look, you know. I was that guy.
Okay.
You know.
So tell me a little bit about the hole in Brownsville.
Well, we got our hole second. You had Soul the Hole in Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
Called it Soul the Hole, you know. And I never get the day Jack told her, we got a hole. We ain't got no hole, no. What you talking about? He said, right across the street from your house where your mother lived. Go over there, they had built like a thing like the Coliseum in Brevoort. Put that was down in the ground. Oh, man, that was some place to play, man. All the projects came, man. I mean, look like 2,000 people there. It might have been 500. But yeah, we got a hole, and we gave it a name, and we kept the reputation of, oh, you couldn't come in there and beat us, I tell you that, you know.
Any existing, like, pictures around of that, you think?
Well, yeah. I have a book out called
Fly 53.
535.
535. I know it was them
and
two
there's another one called
I'm going to
Heaven
get that book.
There's another one called Heaven is a Playground.
Heaven's a Playground. Those are two I
Rick
got to put in my...
Tallinger wrote that book. Yeah.
Two I got to get personally autographed.
Yeah. Rick, the one that followed me around when I was a young kid.
Okay.
Coming up, he was a young sports writer and stuff out of Chicago. He came and stayed the whole summer. He slept in parks. He did everything, man.
Wow.
Yeah, Rick. Great guy. He seen how terrible I was, how much talent I had, and possibly where I was going. You know, him and a guy named Rodney Parker. Rodney Parker was a big thing in my life.
Still alive?
No, he passed away. Rodney the one that sent me to prep school. He went to visit my mother. Yo, can I meet your mother? Yeah. Went and said, Miss Williams, he could be something. So we sat in the living room, we talked, and he ended up sending me to Glen Springs Academy because I got in trouble at Madison. Only thing I did at Madison was chase the girls. You know, after I went to a basketball game, seeing all the girls, I didn't want to play baseball no more. You know, be honest with you, you know. I told Jocko, why you ain't tell me all these girls come to a game like that? You know, he was playing for Tilton High School. So I ended up playing at Madison for 2 years, set all records. I'm still all over the wall. Guy was just saying this Sunday at the game.
Wow.
He said, man, oh, that's Fly. I go to Madison, that's you up there? I said, yeah. I said, boy, you got all the records in there. And I only played a year and a half. Rodney took me out of Madison, sent me to Glen Springs Academy, upstate New York, Elmira, outside Elmira, Watkins Glen, New York.
Yeah.
I took off from there. I really excelled. I ended up 2 years with 57 and 2, 58 and 2. Yeah, I was having close to 40 points a game.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It wasn't impressive to me.
But it was...
to everybody else when I came home.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know how good I was because I was just having fun.
And that was your outlet, it seems like.
Yeah, it was just my sanctuary.
Yeah.
Get between the lines, you know. Everything goes away.
Yeah.
You know, when I was playing. But, you know, reality brings everything back, you know. So I try to play ball all the time.
Yeah, speaking of which, you played with some of New York's finest street players, and World Be Free, Earl the Goat, Manigault. What was your relationship like with them?
Oh, me and World talking right now. You know, World always had a saying, everybody wanted to be Fly. You know, but that's my man. We grew up around the corner from one another. Jock lived down the block. Me and World used to play against each other all the time, you know, and he used to always say, everybody in the project want to be Fly. If I had World attitude, and he had my game, you know, tell him where we really went, you know.
What was your relationship with Julius Erving?
Oh, Well, Julius was married to Turquoise. I used to try to chase her sister. But I never got a chance to, you know. But I hung out with Pam Guare, Foxy Brown. We're known for good times, you know. We had a pretty good relationship, you know. Jocko Khan, you know. We hung out.
Okay. So you were a 6'5" freshman recruited by assistant basketball coach Leonard Hamilton to attend Austin Peay, right? State University in Clarksville, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, Leonard Hamilton came to Brownsville to recruit me, and I wasn't nowhere around. I was somewhere playing somewhere. He stayed out there 7 days waiting for me to come. Mother said some man is here from some school. Why don't you go? Because she really didn't know about, you know, my basketball, this and that. She just know I played basketball. My mother really didn't know how good I was or nothing.
She ever see you play?
One time. They brought her to Austin Peay.
Okay.
One time. And I got through out the game. You know, that was normal. Sometimes, you know. I just wanted to do so good for my mother that I got through out the game. You know, yeah, my mom was the truth. But Leonard Hamilton, back to Leonard Hamilton, him and his wife told my mother that they would take care of me. Because, you know, back then it was unheard of to go to the South to play, you know.
In Tennessee.
Yeah, and see what she just said? In Tennessee, they were saying was racist, this and that. So I go and visit the school.
Right.
I go down, I fly, and they pick me from the airport. People so nice. They take me on the campus. I had it just, they said, look up. I look up in the sky. I said, welcome to Clarksville, fly.
Yeah, skywriting, they wrote your name up in the sky.
Said,
wow.
This is where I'm going.
So while you played there, your nickname inspired a humorous chant. The fly is open, let's go P.
Yeah.
Right? Fans still chant that, you know. You're 35, I understand, was retired at State University in 2009.
Yeah.
And congrats on that. And tell us a little bit about it.
Well, when I got there, they invited me down there. I didn't know they retired my number. I thought they brought me for the book, Fly 35.
Right.
I get to town, it's like a parade and shit. I'm like, well, who coming? I said, man, that's for you. I said, for me? Go to the game that night, they got a shrine in there. You had to see this thing. Unbelievable. I'm standing there going, wow, look at this. Go in the gym, they got a big 35 retirement on the wall and lights. It was really nice. Really nice, you know.
Yeah.
Had a pretty good time that weekend, too.
So you left there and you were immediately drafted to the Nuggets 74 ABA draft?
Yeah, I went to first round, second player picked in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand it wasn't a bidding war. That's a big accomplishment. So
Yeah.
congrats on that. So after that, you know, after the draft, there were several offers to buy your contract, and you were picked by the Spirits of St. Louis. Is that what you wanted?
I didn't care. You know, I made it to my dream. You know, I made it to the biggest show in the world.
Yeah.
Biggest stage in the world.
And you talked about earlier with us that you play international ball, so you played in Israel. Tell me about that.
Man. I kept getting hurt. And when the expansion draft came, that's when both teams emerged. I ended up going to Philadelphia.
Okay.
In the 9th round.
76ers.
76.
Okay.
Oh, man, with Julius Erving, World B. Free, Jordan McGinnis, Doug Collins, Carwell Jones, Bobby Jones. Oh, man, the team was fabulous, man. I wanted to play with these guys. I had some camp, man.
Yeah.
Bill Cunningham had hurt his knee. I was the only guy that having no cut. Gene Shue was like a little upset that he had let me go. I said to myself, well, I don't know how long I'm gonna do this world. So I ended up going overseas. It was okay. I mean, it was all right. I get emotional talking about it now. You know, of course, I really wanted to play.
Yeah.
My first stop was Tel Aviv. Shoot, they were bombing Lebanon then, man. War was going on. I came back home. Played a couple of games, came back home. The next year, I went to Israel. I went to Israel. Then I didn't stay in Israel. I went to Spain. I remember when Kobe Bryant was born when he was a kid. Dad Jelly Bean played with me in Spain and stuff. Came back out of Spain, went to Buffalo with the Braves for a little while. So I was in and out the NBA and international ABA, you know.
Right.
And I just got tired of being the last guy. Made the team, somebody come back, I didn't have a no-cut contract.
Yeah.
They had to let me go.
Let's talk a little bit about the game you scored 100 points. What
That was a
team was
game.
that?
Yeah, that was an all-star game.
All-star game.
I played against World and I played with World and Jock and they searched in the first half. The second half, I played with other teams.
Really? I think Will Chamberlain was the only other person to do that at the time. Or?
Yeah, well, Dip did against New York Knicks.
Okay.
This was just a crazy game. I had 45.
You played, wait, back up. You played one half
with
one team, second half with the other
played
team.
against the team I
How much
played
did you score in?
I had 45 the first half and 55 the second half.
Wow,
So they said I had 100 for the game.
that is awesome.
And I did. Yeah, I
He said he did.
I beat World and Jock and them. I beat him. Jock talk about it all the time, and he beat us. Yeah.
So that's awesome. So there was also, I was reading about a mooning incident. Tell
Oh
me
man,
about
don't even talk about that one. I don't know what happened that day with me, I had some attitude. My attitude was terrible, man. My attitude was terrible. My attitude reflects my life.
Okay.
You know, attitude is big. People don't realize it, but it it reflects on your life, man.
Yeah.
As you progress in age, that's why you gotta have two parents in the household. Because my mother, going out doing this and that, trying to provide for us, kids be left alone.
Yeah.
So, my attitude was a wreck, man. That's why I ain't played that long, because of my attitude.
When did you decide to leave basketball? How old were you?
Oh, man, I played basketball until I was 50, man.
Wow.
48, 50, yeah. And scoring 50 at 50.
Wow.
Yeah. I played in tournaments against kids 35.
They knew who you were, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A lot of the kids that came with me, I was still out there as a center then. I had to go play in various tournaments. Let them know I still had it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Put them to shame, so to speak.
Yeah, I played. When I got 50, it got less and less, but I did play.
Yeah.
I stopped playing when I was 50.
Okay. Also, know you were shot by a police officer. Did you know him?
Yeah, I got shot in the back by a gentleman that played in school with Jocko. Named Ray Branch. He was a correction officer, not a police officer. They tried to blame it on the police officer. Well, they set me up good on that one, too. That's the first time I went to prison. They said I tried to rob him.
Yeah, what was going through your head?
He would go to hell. I hold my own. I moved my way. I was okay.
Yeah.
I ran into some dudes better than me, in the street. Matter of fact, you mentioned Joe Hamlin. We used to play against each other. He was on Rikers Island, too, at the time. Yeah, he was in 95. I was in North Facility. So that's when they used to take different guys to different jails to play back
Play
then.
ball? Okay. When you got shot, did your light flash before your eyes?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, man, that was crazy right there. You asked that. When I got shot, I went to Booth Memorial, and they brought a priest, a psychiatrist to talk to me. They asked me, what did I see? Because I died and came back. I said, I seen a pit of fire and a light in the sky, and something was around my leg trying to pull me down, but I wouldn't go down. And the priest and the psychiatrist told me that was hell. That was the devil's tail. But Teresa said, it ain't your time. I banks on that. I ended up getting shot 3 times after that, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how was your health after, being shot?
Well, I had problem with my heart for a little while because the bullet grazed the back of my heart.
Okay.
I got hit with slugs. I still got one behind my spine today. Bad days, I had bad days.
Okay. So I was also reading that you had damage to your lungs and scars on your back.
Oh, yeah, I got one lung and one kidney. Yeah. I still got a scar on my back like this.
Okay.
They wouldn't do a skin graft. I wouldn't let them do it. I just said, I need this reminder.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy. My sister just always said I was crazy. Some of the things.
What happened to the correction officer that shot you?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I didn't know how to go about things back then. Shot me with a shotgun, too. He wasn't supposed to have that shotgun. But he played with World and Jock in school, and they were Ray Branch. And, it was a bad ordeal. It was about somebody that owed me money, and it was a bad ordeal.
How many days were you in the hospital?
Shoot, I was in the hospital for months, man. They had me hanging up like this in the hospital, man.
Wow.
Yeah, hanging up like that and shackled to the bed. I got arrested. They arrested me, and that's my first bid I did. They gave me a 2 to 4. I had multiple cases then, though. I came out lucky with that. I had multiple cases, and they ran them all concurrent. That was like 40, 50 years ago now, but that was my first, I say 40, 38.
Okay. And you said you're how old now?
35.
Let's go with that. So let's switch gears there. So you retired from basketball, spent time working with some disadvantaged youth, and continued to play street ball, right? And how was that working with disadvantaged youth?
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay.
Because I was them.
Oh, good.
It was easy for me to communicate with them. It was an easy job because I lived like them one time.
Right. So you identified and showed them.
I'm doing it today, same thing, yeah.
So I hear you listed as the number 2 athlete on the 50 greatest street ballers of all time by the SBA, which is the Street Ball Basketball Association. Congratulations.
Well, that's what they say. I think I'm number 1.
You think you know what? There's BRC in Brownsville. Greg Jocko Jackson, another basketball legend. What was your relationship with Jocko?
Oh, man, that was my brother. Friend, he was everything.
Okay.
Straight shooter. Taught me a lot about the politics in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Jock could have been some kind of council person, some kind of senator or something, man. But he wouldn't do it. He just he loved Brownsville. We love Brownsville.
Right.
It's different to live in Brownsville and do things in Brownsville and take things from Brownsville, but nobody gave. We gave. He taught me how to give. My mother taught me how to give.
Yeah.
Love Brownsville to this day.
So what is the Brownsville Recreational Center?
Well, it was a rec center that Jock molded into something, man. It was unbelievable. We was in East New York until Priscilla Wooten won the seat. And she tells Jock, I got a building for you. And Jock said, you got a building for me? That's all he wanted. We ended up going to BRC.
Okay.
And we transformed that place into something that was unbelievable. This guy here was a leader.
So what did he mean to the community, Jocko?
Oh, he's everything, man. You come to Jock with any problem, anything, he won't turn you away. We try to combat everything in the neighborhood. Anything and everything,
Yeah.
Any problem you have, you can come talk to us.
Sound like he was a good guy. God bless
I
his soul.
taught the kids not to be like me.
He passed?
Yeah, he passed away.
How long ago?
I think Jack died 2012. I think it was 12. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it was 20-something. It's 10 years ago. Yeah, 2012. I couldn't go to the funeral. World cried like a baby.
Yeah.
I come around the corner. I couldn't hold it. I just learned to talk about it.
Yeah, so you're getting a little emotional now.
Yeah.
So is it true that you were a silent partner funding the renovations of the center for the disadvantaged people in the community?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did some things to get the money I wasn't proud of at the time.
Yeah. I heard they have a recording studio, computer center, daycare, and of course, basketball.
Dance room. We got everything, man. Library, game room, everything for the kids.
Yeah. Well, even though, you're feeling like you feel about the way you got the money, the intention is pure. Giving back to the community. I commend you for that. Well, what is Old Timers Day at BRC?
Oh, man, that's a fashion show.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, we feed the community.
Okay.
We have a show. Everybody just enjoy yourself for 7 days, man.
Okay. Oh, it's 7 days?
It's 7 days because we have a youth day, we have a Latin day, we have a gospel day, we have a jazz day, then Friday night, reunion night. That's when everybody come out, and then Saturday is sports day. We have a show on Friday. Then Saturday is a sports day.
Right.
All the kids play from softball to basketball. We have a little talent show.
Okay.
Have another show. It's the talk of the town, man. Really, really nice, man.
It's always the last Saturday of
In
every
July. Right.
Really?
Last Saturday in July, yeah.
Let me know next year. They still do it?
That's reunion night, but it's the last week, really.
Right.
But the last 2 nights is when the party starts.
And they
And it
still
used to
do
be
it every year?
Yeah, since I was a kid.
Yeah, well,
They used to do the 284
Well,
part.
284, wow, it's amazing she bring this up. Me and Jack, back then, you know what old time it was? Flugy Bar, Southern Lounge, the Bucket of Blood. They play a softball game and they get out and fight. They do fight every time they got to them. It was like cowboy days in saloon. That's amazing. You remember it. Wow. I was little then. Jack was young. So, I was playing softball and baseball. Sometimes they just let me play with them. An inning or so. I ain't play all game.
Right, yeah.
But I was a baseball player. But yeah, that was the bars.
So
Lounge,
word on the street says you actually paid for the free festivities every year.
I did for a while.
Good stuff.
I did for a while. I did for about, Jock took it over in 97, 98. I used to just go to the center then, 99. I used to just go. 2001, Jock made me get a job in the center. I told him, I don't need no job, man. I was getting money. I ain't need no job.
Right.
He said, you come here every day and stay 8 hours. He said, sometimes you stay 10, 12 hours. He sent me to the park department. I go down there and fill out the application, get a job, this and that. You know, they hired me. We just took off from there, man.
And that's what helps you get that Social Security.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely
from having a job on the books.
When
well,
it comes to
see-
Social Security time.
Yeah,
Right.
see, I had a job, all the job with Jack, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked in Coney Island Hospital,
Okay.
and I worked in the BRC. Besides our little youth job, we started off in the youth, making $38.63 every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the summer youth program.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Well,
It was Haruak in Harlem.
Oh man,
I remember that.
I was a menace then too. Jack was the crew chief He was a crew chief. I was a regular. The next year I became trooper. He was the supervisor. He used to go out and tell the guys to do stuff. I go tell the guys to do nothing.
But let me tell you something. That youth job, that summer job I had every year,
Yeah.
that helped me buy back time as a correctional officer to retire early.
How?
I was able to buy the time back.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They counted that time. They counted that time to city
I
job.
explained to her when they sent me Social Security. I said, man, they ain't give me no Social Security. I ain't got no job. I ain't work. I worked 30-something years, all under with Jack. I never, I'm telling you, this guy here, he was different.
Yeah.
Jack was a good guy, man.
Yeah, he was.
You know, Jack was,
He let me film one of my movies in there.
Yeah.
And be on
Jack,
set,
Jack, anything you wanted to do,
Yep, he's always a yes. Well,
it
it's
wasn't
okay.
that you can't do it. The park department couldn't come in there. He said, get out my building. Yeah, or he said, get out of the building. This is my building. You know, I said, Mommy, we call each other Mommy. Mommy, how you mean it's your building, man? This is my building.
So tell me, what other charities you were involved in?
Oh, man, I gave everything. The churches, I gave everything, man. I even slid stuff that I can't even talk about to people.
Right, yeah.
You know, but yeah, I was the guy, if you have financial problem, God, you know what, brother, I come to your house.
What about them Nike endorsements and stuff you
Oh,
used to
well,
get for
yeah,
the-
well, Nike,
I was thinking, I'm glad you asked that. I was going to ask you, had you had any
Yeah,
endorsements
I
or
got it.
sponsorships or anything? Thank you so much for that
yeah,
question.
I had Nike for a while, man. I had Nike for a little while. They did great justice for the kids in Brownsville with me. I gave a tournament every year.
Oh,
And a lot of kids that I had in the tournament was kids that couldn't play somewhere else.
right.
My tournament was teaching the game. You know, some of the really made kids, after they went on for a while, came to play, but then I had 2 divisions. But most of the kids, I was teaching them the game.
Right.
You know, a lot of my kids that play with me, they coaches and this and that in the city now. Yeah, got some right in the neighborhood right now. Yeah, Eugene Lawrence, Curtis Jackson. You know, they pretty good coaches in junior high schools right now. You know, yeah.
Down, down,